Miley Cyrus, why weren't you my Valentine? Welcome to the MMA Monday here for the Fun Get Pod. We talk Miley Cyrus, Julian Marquez, and of course the UFC 258. And let's just get right down to business to see what happened. Usually, again, I thought I would build up to the main event, but honestly, I mean, it's news, it just happened. So let's talk about the main event, right? Kamaru, the Nigerian nightmare. Usman, I'm hesitating because I thought the nickname was a bit stupid in the beginning, but slowly but steady. I mean, he's becoming a bit scary. So yeah, good. Versus Gilbert Burns. Yeah, that was cool. It was a kind of a banger. I mean, it depends how you define a banger. But I did like the match. I liked how Burns came out and set down Usman, even though Usman played it down later. It's like, yeah, well, the ring is slippery, but actually it was quite a lot of power and it would have knocked everybody else out but me. But it was quite slippery. So he was like jumping back and forth there. Because you don't want to give too much credit to your opponent, of course. But so apparently there was a good shot that hit Usman there. And yeah, Usman is really good at recovering it. He said it himself in the press conference later. I'm really good at recomposing. I think that's what he said. And yeah, it seems like it. I hate the word recomposing by now because he said it 27,000 times within like those 5 minutes of a press conference. But yeah, good job by Usman recomposing himself during the break, coming out in the second round, taking the second round, putting it on Burns, and then of course stopping Burns like early in the third. So that was good. Like respect, it's definitely, as Max Holloway said in a tweet, respect earned. Sad for Burns, and I was one of those who thought like Burns could have it, at least could put Usman into trouble, and he did in the first round, right? And in the press conference, he said he went Cody Garbrandt crazy. That's now a thing. So he saw that he hurt Usman, and then he wanted to get him out as fast as possible and just power himself out, and then he didn't have anything left for the second and third round. Which you can believe to an extent, but of course it's also Usman changing gears and then just going into championship mode there. Afterwards, they embraced. Like Burns kind of crying. Usman said he almost started crying too because they were such good friends before. Yeah, but great performance by Usman. Really, he said, "Put some respect on my name, dude." Yeah, that's true, but that doesn't happen by you saying it. It just happens by you being who you are, and if you just keep going, the respect will come automatically. Respect is earned, not given. All right, it's the Sunday gospel on the MMA Monday here. Okay, we had Usman versus Burns, so good job there, Kamaru. That was definitely interesting, and another level up performance. Oh yeah, afterwards he called out George Masvidal. It's a bit weird if the champ calls someone out he already beat, but I mean, he explained why. He's like, oh, Masvidal has the excuse that he took it on short notice. Then he explained why it was tough for him as well, because short notice for Usman too, of course, blah, 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 blah. And this time, he's going to put him in a coffin. The thing is, if Usman talks shit like this, it doesn't sound that dangerous. If Masvidal would say, you're like, ooh, yeah. Masvidal, of course, responded. He said it before. He's like, on 6 days I took your nose, on 3 weeks I take the belt, on a full camp I take your soul or whatever. See, that's how you trash talk. I don't know. I mean, I like Masvidal, kinda, of course, but also I've been disappointed with like his performance against Usman back then. But do we want to see it? I mean, it's gonna be another snooze fest probably. Because Usman's not going to stand and strike, I guess, even though his striking looked super crisp against Burns, especially that jab was really cool, like respect. But yeah, it would. So from a drama point of view, I'm all for it. I'm like either Masvidal with a rematch or Colby with a rematch, but Colby got really, I mean, smashed, brother. So maybe it's easy to give Masvidal a rematch with that building excuse ends on, and the drama would be nice. And they're talking that they will have them as tough coaches. So yeah, okay. But from a purist point of view, from a sports point of view, there's one guy in the top 5 who didn't fight Kamaru Usman yet and who's yet to get a shot, which is Wonderboy Stephen Thompson. And he even said so on Twitter. But it's like, my man Stephen Thompson can't catch a break in this regard. Like, everyone ignores him. Like, when Khamzat fell out against Leon Edwards, because Khamzat is still fighting COVID apparently, Stephen Wonderboy respectfully, it's what it was the hashtag, I believe, called out Leon Edwards like, hey, number 3 versus number 5, give the people what they want. And that makes sense, but everyone just ignores it. Like, Dana ignored it, everybody ignores it. Like, what? And now he's like, hey, I'm the only one in the top 5 who hasn't fought Usman yet. Like, how about me? And everyone ignores it. Like, even Usman at the press conference kind of just like glanced over it. Put some damn respect on my man Wonderboy's name, seriously. No matter who Wonderboy fights next, I really hope he just goes out, destroys them again, and then there's just no escaping from him anymore. It's not Usman Usman is like, I'm so nice, people don't take me serious. No, Wonderboy is too nice, and that's why people overlook him. Wonderboy is too nice. And they're like, oh, he's getting older and so on, but he's still putting people away. So put some respect on Wonderboy's name, people. Usman, I earned the respect, of course, and that was an amazing performance. I'm looking forward to the next fight. But yeah, Wonderboy would be awesome. On after that, we had Mayce Barber, the future, bouncing back from her loss against Alexa Grasso, the former future. And how did the future do? Well, the future isn't all rosy, I would say, because Alexa Grasso had a great performance, a great showing here, and clearly dominated Mayce Barber. Mayce Barber did well, I think, in regards to not giving up. And the last round, they told her, you need a finish now because you're down. And she went for the finish. She tried to go hunting, but Alexa Grasso was just too good in this case. And it looks like Alexa Grasso is slowly becoming what everybody thought she would be 5 years ago when she came to the UFC or so. Like the next big thing, the next Mexican superstar, the first Mexican superstar, but the next big thing in the UFC, the new face of the women's division. And she was trading wins and losses. I think she was 4-3 before this fight. Now she's 5-3, I believe. Just quickly validating this, yeah. So, yeah. But she looked good. She looked good last time. She looked good now. And those past 2 fights were clearly set up for her to lose. And she took both of them. So well done, Alexa Grasso. Congratulations. And Mayce Barber. I mean, this moniker of like, I'm going to be the youngest champ ever. Ooh, maybe it was just too much. She's clearly a great fighter. No doubt about that. But maybe you got to like also reassess and recheck your mindset a little bit. Like, I need to be champ right now. Maybe it's more like I've got the tools that it needs and I'm going to be champ eventually. Maybe that leads to the goal better. Because right now, I mean, it's always hard to do like MMA math, right? But right now, if you look at it, if Mayce Barber would fight Valentina Shevchenko like this, she probably wouldn't survive. In a sport, so I don't mean it's like too violently, but like, Valentina Shevchenko seems to be on a different level still. So maybe the slow progress, a path of slower progress might be the path to take here, because she definitely got the tools, right? Obviously, and she fights in the UFC. She's clearly good. Maybe it just takes a bit longer to get all the experience in, and then you can challenge for the title. Again, congrats Alexa Grasso. She was number 15, which I don't think is a fair ranking there, so she should definitely be up there in the 10s easily now. And yeah, well, congrats, well done. Then we saw KG, Kelving Gastelum, also trying to bounce back from, I think, 3-fight losing streak. I don't say streak there, right? Skid versus Ian Heinisch. And Ian Heinisch just looks the part of like someone who spent time on Rikers Island and then made it into a professional MMA fighter. Heinisch looked big. I was surprised like how big and jacked he looks. Because I haven't seen many of his fights live, to be honest, only in highlights, which always look quite good. But Gastelum just, for the first time ever, put on his wrestling boots and just out-wrestled Heinisch. And yeah, man, you can do it. Why don't you do it more often? Clear UD for KG. Well done. He said afterwards he wasn't impressed by his own performance. So don't need GSP here to tell him. He said it was nothing special. He's happy he got the win, but it didn't feel any special. So, all right. Other than that, I thought it was a good performance. He was clearly on top, had the top control, landed the better strikes. So well done, Kelving Gastelum. Let's see what's next. He said he would be up to step in case either Robert Whittaker or Paulo Costa had to drop out of their scheduled bout. He would be up for that. So let's see where it goes. Kelving Gastelum is always right there, right? Maybe one more win, and then he's almost in the title picture again. So let's see where it goes. He's certainly super game. I liked watching his fights. So yeah, well done, KG. That was fun. And maybe wrestling is not as bad as you thought it was, or it's not as lame as you thought it was, because it gives you victories. What else did we have? We had Ricky Simon versus Brian Boom Keller, and there was no boom from Brian Keller. In this case, Ricky Simon just put it on him from the get-go. The whole time, Ricky Simon was just in the driver's seat and didn't let go. 3 rounds, super clear UD. Wrestling, even the striking, Ricky Simon was just moving, pressure, in your face, and it didn't stop. So yeah, that was just a nice performance with a terrible haircut, but it was a nice performance by Ricky Simon. So that was cool. Seems like that upset loss to Uriah Faber back then, like kind of, helped to reset or refocus, recompose, as Kamaru Usman would say. And now he found his groove, it seems. So really nice. Chael Sonnen always talks about him like that he's going to be the next big thing. So if the American Gangster says it, why not? Great fight there. Again, clear decision, clear winner. So good job. Let's see where it goes from here. Then we had Maki Pitolo versus Julian Marquez. It's Mexican, isn't it? No, it's Cuban. I'm stupid. The Cuban Missile Crisis. It's Cuban. Okay, but then it should be Julian, shouldn't it be? My Spanish is getting not better ever since moving to Thailand. Sorry, but yeah. So Julian Marquez versus Maki Pitolo, and Maki Pitolo, he went out there in the first. And you thought, okay, he's gonna take Marquez out. It was all Pitolo, like not all, but mostly Pitolo, like really high pace. But then for the first 2 minutes, then Marquez was able to counter a little, but still I would say like it was Pitolo's round. In the second round, similar, right? So Marquez had some nice offense, but Pitolo reversed lots of those offensive moves and just looked better. So it was 2-0 Pitolo, I think. And then the corner was amazing. Like the Pitolo corner was all calm, like, yeah, good job, just maybe try this. Then when he comes in, you're gonna step out a little, like very composed. And Marquez corner was just yelling at him, I need a effing knockout now. You go out there, leave it all out there. I need you. Come on, do you understand? And Marquez is like, yes, sir. And then he went out and he did it. I mean, that was pretty cool. That just works like in a movie, like yelling, screaming. I was just waiting for the slap to the face. And Marquez like, yes, sir. And then he went out hunting, and well, he succeeded. And I mean, he was throwing bombs. Like, so okay, if this lands flush, he's gonna take Pitolo's head off. Pitolo then also, but tried to roll with the punches, tried to move, but you see, he got really tired and couldn't really move away anymore that fast, and he was hurt eventually. And then it hit the ground again. It's where Pitolo tried to clinch, and then it hit the ground, and you're like, okay, let's see where this goes right now. Well, and then Marquez submitted him. Didn't see that coming, so that was cool. You thought he would just trying to go for the knockout, but when it hit the ground, Marquez, in this case, stayed composed. Favorite word of the day. Stayed composed and submitted Pitolo in round 3. So congratulations. It was like at 4 something, like I think 4:10, let me check, 4:17 of round 3. So that was close. So good job, respect. Afterwards, of course, the fun, cringy call out, like when Joe Rogan interviewed him, and then Marquez was all like, yeah, I'm back after 31 months or something. And I was waiting for this mic time to call them all out. So here it goes. Miley Cyrus, will you be my Valentine? We gotta shoot your shot, man. And Miley Cyrus, I more than understand that. Hey. Miley Cyrus even responded on Twitter. She said, if Marquez shaves an MC in his chest, then she's his. Happy Valentine's, great job. That was fun. Then Marquez again responded. Now it gets a bit awkward and a bit needy. He said if she puts the Cuban Missile Crisis on her body, then we can talk or something like this, which is just a bit too much. Julian, know your role. Be happy. But yeah, it was kind of cringy, funny, but good on him for shooting a shot. What else do we have? I'm not going to go through all the fights now, but what obviously stood out was in the prelims, I believe, Rodolfo Vieira, the BJJ phenom, 8-0, I believe, until Saturday. Several times ADCC world champion and so on. They all rattled down his accolades versus journeyman, how they call him, Antonio Fluffy Hernandez. And the bell rang and Vieira shot for the takedown, took down Hernandez. It looked rather easy, like, that's going to be a long round. But Hernandez wiggled his way out somehow. In the last, 2 minutes or so, they were on the feet, maybe even 3 minutes, and Hernandez put it on Vieira. It was crazy. He wasn't even scared of the takedown anymore, and he was just like lighting him up on the feet a little bit. And Vieira just completely gassed out, like saved by the bell. And then in the second round, same picture. He was shooting. Hernandez was scrambling. And then every time when they would come back up, Hernandez would just put some knees in there, or then jab. And Vieira just couldn't defend. And then it went to the ground and Hernandez submitted Vieira. This is just ridiculous. I mean, respect for Hernandez for really wanting it. And yeah, well, he got it. He submitted a super famous multiple times ADCC 17 stripe black belt. So congratulations. The corner didn't want it. They were like, get up, knock him out. So good job. Let's see where Fluffy Hernandez goes from here. Maybe takes it a bit more serious now. Not to say that he didn't take it serious, but maybe this just lights a little bit more of a fire again. That would be cool. And then what also stood out in the prelims, and why was it on the prelims? Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad, bully on Instagram. He fought Diego Lima, who came back after a long layoff, I believe. So, and that's the reason why Lima doesn't have a number to his name, I believe. But other than that, Diego Lima is obviously a well-known name. And Bully, holy crap, doing this YouTube show and talking to all those awesome fighters seems to rub off, because he put on a pace that was ridiculous from the start to the finish. That was just insane how he was in Lima's face, that was as clear as a victory as it can be. The only thing that Lima had for Belal was the low leg kicks, the calf kicks. Belal afterwards and on Twitter, my leg was a balloon. Nice. Conor McGregor just blocked you. That was fun, but it was a really a good match. I thought, okay, prelims, let's just let them run while you're grabbing something to eat or something. But I was just watching this fight and I couldn't look away, because it was really high paced, fast paced. Nice combos with the hands, really fast. That jab was also great. It was just a really nice performance, and he should jump up in the rankings by now, because he's got, I think, 4 or 5 now in a row, looking really good. So yeah, that was cool. So that was UFC 258. What do you think? What did you like the most here? Also, where are they going from here? I think some have some clear-cut path, of course, with Usman probably doing the Masvidal thingy, probably as coaches for Tough, just to get more attention out of it. Then Burns, I don't know, probably waiting for one of the other guys at 185. 170. Sorry, I'm already looking. I was looking at my notes and it says UFC 259. So we have to talk about 185. But okay, on the 170, who's he waiting for there? So is the question, right? But he clearly is one of the best. So it will not take him too long to jump back in there. Then what happens to? I mean, Alexa Grasso probably can slowly fight her way up. Not yet a title fight, obviously. Kelving Gastelum is 1 or 2 fights away from being a title contender again, I believe. So it's all rather interesting here. So it wasn't that much of a stacked card where you say, oh my God, it's so awesome. But it was a really good card and the fights all delivered. So that was nice. What also delivered, apparently, are Dana White's threats of jailing every single streamer in the universe. Because according to him, and let me just quote it, one of the big illegal streamers set out UFC 258, we'll keep doing what we're doing. I know you guys watch UFC 258. Yeah, exactly. But good on you for fighting the good fight, Dana. Maybe make it a bit cheaper. I'm just saying. Yeah, but let's see who comes out victorious in the end. Dana versus the streamers. What else do we have to talk about? We have to talk about UFC 259 now being around the corner. First week of March, with 3 title fights on there, with Adesanya taking on Jan Blachowicz. And yeah, that's how you say it as a European. Jan Blachowicz. I would say Blachowicz. But then again, I'm German and don't trust the German with all things Polish. Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya. I stole this from Ariel Helwani, who's also in trouble, by the way. Oh, we didn't talk about this. Oh, I have to. I hope I don't forget it. Let's talk about this in a second. But yeah, so Adesanya versus Blachowicz. Gonna be interesting, like power puncher versus stylist, of course. It would be hilarious if one of those 2 guys would go for a takedown right off the opening bell and then Blachowicz just shoots. It would be fantastic. That would be hilarious. Yeah, from the previous performances, you would say Izzy is levels above everybody else. But then again, I mean, if Blachowicz hits you once, it's a cliche, but it seems to be true, right? Look at how he took out Reyes. So if Blachowicz connects once, he doesn't need to be the better fighter. He just needs to find a way to connect once or twice and then you're gone. So, let's see about this. I do think that Blachowicz, even though while it doesn't sound sexy as a matchup like Blachowicz versus Adesanya, I do think Blachowicz is the guy with the most power that Adesanya faced, at least in the UFC so far. So let's see how he handles this. Should be fun. What also should be fun, not for Megan Anderson, it would be Megan Anderson versus Amanda Nunes for the title. I don't see anyone who's challenging Nunes right now, like on a serious level, to be honest. But again, you always think that, and then someone surprises you, steps up to the plate, levels up while they're in the fight, and they take it from the dominant champion. So we're waiting for this. We've seen Jon Jones coming close to losing, so maybe this happens to Amanda Nunes as well at some point. Right now, from judging from her past performances, it didn't look like that yet, right? Amanda was as dominant as ever. She's not stepping off the gas pedal anytime soon, it seems. So if that's the case, then Megan Anderson might be in a world of trouble. But maybe, who knows? Maybe she can land like a surprising takedown or just, one shot connects and that's it. So let's see about this. The fight that I'm least excited about, the title fight I'm least excited about is Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling, simply for 2 reasons. I assume that Sterling is going to wrestle a lot, and I'm not a wrestle guy because, you see, I'm wearing an Ali shirt, so I'm not the biggest wrestle guy, but obviously acknowledging that it's really important and it's leads to success. I'm just saying I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, not a wrestling purist. I did enjoy Kelvin Gastelum's wrestling though, and I'm still not on board with Peter Yan, and I don't really know why. Maybe it's just because they kind of pushed him too fast into the title picture, while I think Sterling, for example, has been waiting for the shot forever. So yeah, that's maybe just the case. Judging from past performances and how well prepared Peter Yan was all the time, it would be tough to bet against him, but Sterling looked really good, of course, in his past outings. So it should be a fun fight. I'm just not that excited about it yet. But I hope I'm going to be there watching it and then go like, yeah, oh my God, that's crazy. And either way, no matter who wins, has to face the Sandman next, obviously. Yeah, so that's about it with like what's happening. We will have more MMA shows before the pay-per-view takes place, so we will talk more about the next fight night as well, and then of course the big pay-per-view in March. But for now, that's it. Let me know what you think. Like, what was? Oh, see, I almost forgot it. So Ariel Helwani, right, and Gina Carano. So Gina Carano, former MMA star, right, was starring in The Mandalorian, got kicked off. The contract didn't get extended from the project because she was having some weird Twitter fits and talking about like, if you're a conservative in the US or Republican or whatever, then you're basically treated like the Jews back then in Germany. As a German, I would simply assume that's not the case, because nothing is as bad as the Holocaust, I would assume. And she was doubling down on that. So she wouldn't apologize for it. She was just doubling down on it. And that's why she got, that's why she got canceled, so to speak. And why I'm not a big fan of those cancellation movements. And this is not a media cast, so more on like how media works and how those cancellations work on Friday. But I mean, if you just double down on stuff like this, it's just not cool, right? So then she probably basically got let go from The Mandalorian, and then Ben Shapiro picked her up. And so now she's going to star, produce, direct a movie for Ben Shapiro's company. And you wonder why Ben Shapiro is controversial. They both gave out a statement saying like, if we don't let them cancel us, they can cancel us. But you got canceled because you said something really offensive. But then, yeah, you can say whatever you want because freedom of speech and the way you feel, no one should dictate the way you feel and so on. Yes, I understand. Then Ariel Helwani jumped in, of course, released a video, and I did not watch it until the end because it was really cringeworthy, where he was like close to tears or even crying. I don't know, I switched off before. And talking about like how insensitive it is and so on. And in a very twisted way, he made it about himself. And then like lots of people apparently reached out and said like, oh, Ariel, I hope you're okay, blah, blah. And then he released a statement saying like, thanks everybody for reaching out to me, making sure I'm okay. Dude, it's not about you. Just saying. That was a really bit annoying. I enjoy Ariel and the bad guy. I enjoy Helwani and the DC and so on. But that was also cringe-worthy. See, you make me use my German accent. That's how mad I am, Ariel. It was a bit cringe-worthy, I believe. If it's sincere, okay, all good. But it just felt a bit too much, a bit too entertaining. But okay, that's just me. What did you think about Ariel's tears? What did you think about UFC 258? And what are you expecting from UFC 259? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, rate this podcast. And I'll see you either next Monday for the MMA Monday or Wednesday, Wrestling Wednesday, and on Friday for the MediaCast. I was hesitating because Wrestling Wednesday soon will get an addition because one championship, MMA Monday, is gonna move to TNT and will air right after AEW. That could be cool. There might be some crossovers there. Already, I keep this for the next one. There are some crossovers in the making. It's gonna be fun. All right, I'll see you next time. Take care and stay safe.